Hey, how you doing? This is Seji Hito here to bring you the news. I was actually partially muted for about 15 seconds, but here we go. It is currently 1:24 p.m., Tuesday, December 19th, 2023. So got a few stories directly for you guys along with a few videos as well. So, DSA, what is up? What is up? What's up? So the very first thing that you see directly up here states that Fox News, Arizona rancher sounds alarm on cartels at southern border. Quote, finish the wall. Now, I will highly say this, right? Before I get into the statistics, because I'm pretty sure that some of these ranchers here, these true Americans, they're pretty much worried, right, about people coming directly over the border, directly into their states, into their areas. But we also have to realize that a lot of the land here is not originally theirs. They took it. They warred over it. They killed specifically for this land and then annexed the people who were here down southern, right? So I want to just get into this just a little bit here. So just remember the image that you have up here, right? You got the two Caucasian guys. One is a Fox News anchor, and the other one is a old farmer. You know, one of the good old cowboys. But also, I want to note if people look up the original terminology and name for cowboys, it was given directly to black men. Black men were the original cowboys. Those were the ones who would handle the cows and do all of the jobs that the Caucasian men did not specifically want to do. So, again, look up a lot of these terminologies, these words that are, given. But anyways, so let's get into the main aspect that I'm pretty much sure that a lot of people are worried about, right? Which is the drugs. So that brings us directly over to this image right here, right? Let me just put this directly up there for the focus. Shout out to King Black. Shout out to F YouTube. What is up? What is up? So we got the top 10 cities with the most cocaine usage, right? So I got to look at this from like two different screens here, right? So we got Fresno, California, Las Vegas, Arizona again, Tucson. Matter of fact, what we're going to do here, right? Because we got a few areas. We're going to look up some of these areas, right? So the one area that they gave is Arizona. So I'm going to go directly to Arizona, and then I'm going to give you guys the race and the ethnicity in Arizona, since that's one of the main places, right? They stated Mesa, Phoenix, and Tucson, right? So in Arizona in general, population white, right? They said it was about, in the city of Arizona state, they're going by race, ethnicity in Arizona. White, 3.78 million. Hispanic, 2.3 million. Black, 287K. Asian, 205K. Mixed, 140K. Other, 286. And that is in Arizona itself. But overwhelmingly, the greater majority of the population there is Caucasian. Second is Hispanic, right? So again, we're looking at Arizona, and it is one of the top 10 cities with the most cocaine usage, the drugs, right? So you can pretty much gather who's using, you can pretty much gather who's selling, these drugs, right? Just putting that directly out there. The next one we got, right? We got Las Vegas. So let me scroll down. Let me just back up just a little bit. And we're going to go to Nevada, right? Then we're going to go to race and ethnicity. So they stated for race and ethnicity in Nevada, I said Nevada, white, 1.46 million. Hispanic, 777K. Black, 244K. Asian, 223K. Mixed, 94.1K. Other, 46.8K. So again, we're looking at another state that overwhelmingly is highly populated by the white population in the United States. And we're also dealing with the fact that this is one of the top 10 cities with the most cocaine usage. So who could be distributing? Who could also be selling This cocaine. I don't know. I'm just looking at the stats and trying to figure some stuff out. So let's just keep going here, right? So the next one I'm going to list off to you guys here is California, right? They're talking about Fresno, but we're going to look at California in general, right? And they stated that California has a 38 million persons population, right? So we're going to go down to race and ethnicity here, and it states that for California, white is at 14.8 million, Hispanic 14.7 million, Black 2.26 million, Asian 5.35 million, mixed 1.11 million, and other 366K. Now this one is it's looking pretty even here, guys. It's looking pretty even. It's looking neck and neck in general when it deals with California, that the population is split with both white and Hispanic, right? Pretty much looking even there, but yet again, it's listed as one of the top 10 cities with the most cocaine usage. I'm just trying to figure out who may be, the ones here, really dibbling and dabbling and also maybe, selling these things. Next, we're going to go to good old Colorado, right? Because they got Colorado Springs listed directly up there. So we're going to go right again to race and ethnicity. And he stated directly that Colorado has a population of 5.3 million, right? So Colorado, white, 3.70 million people. Hispanic, 1.12 million. Black, 219K. Asian, 158K. I did not know that many Asians live in Colorado. That's crazy. Mixed, 123K. Other, 45.5K. Now, again, we're dealing with the top 10 cities. I'm going to sound like a broken record because, I'm just trying to get this through to people. We're dealing with the top 10 cities with the most cocaine usage, right? And Colorado overwhelmingly is 3.70 million, right? White. It's like, wow. And, again, we're talking about, building this wall and trying to make sure to keep people out, so that we can make sure to manage the types of things that come in and out of the country, right? To keep the children safe, to keep the family safe, right? Not to tear them apart, right? But yet Colorado is overwhelmingly 96. Pretty much we're going to round that. I'm sorry. We're going to round that up. I'm sorry. It's not 96. Colorado is pretty much 69%, rounding that up. That's 70% white. But I still can't get a grasp on, who, may be the individuals here that are specifically peddling and selling, some of the stuff. So next we're going to go to Kansas, right? So Kansas is stated to have about 2.8 million people for the population. So let's go down to race and ethnicity. They stated that in Kansas, the population that is white is 2.23 million. Hispanic, 323K. Black, 168K. Asian, 77.6K. Mixed, 79.8K. Other, 23.6. So yet again, we're dealing with a state here that has high cocaine usage among the others, and the population is white. I'm just trying to figure out, where the true danger is actually coming from, and where it actually lies. When it deals with the drug usage and people selling the drugs and people passing away. I'm just trying to figure out what the real thing directly is there, right? So next one we're going to go to good old Oklahoma, right? We're going to go there, right? So we're going to go to the race and ethnicity, and it states that Oklahoma has a population of 3.8 million persons in that state. Population white is 2.59 million. Hispanic, 376K. Black, 281K. Asian, 77.5K. Mixed, 265K. Other, 282K. So yet again, we got another state. Overwhelmingly, the greater majority of the populace there is white, right? Being 66.9% of the population as per given the stats that I'm able to read directly off to you guys. And yet, you have people that are worried about a drug epidemic and a problem. They're worried about these things spreading. But as I keep going state by state, it seems that the epidemic is an internal one. It's not really, in a sense, coming from the outside, be it the source where the drugs may originate from are from the outside, but those who are within those given states where the greater majority is white, it seems to me that those are the people that are both suffering from the drug epidemic, along with the ones that are also selling it to the populace as well. So, just in case people aren't, in a sense, getting what it is that I'm pushing and referring to, is the main thing that people have always stated, that black people are the drug dealers, right? They've stated that the black community has been destroying families all over the United States by being drug dealers and doing all of these things, right? But the top 10 cities that have these drug problems, these cocaine problems, overall are white. The populace is white. And black people are pretty much third when it deals with the population of a lot of these states. So you're not going to sit up here and tell me that overwhelmingly black people are just out here destroying America. Like every black person out here is literally, you know, selling and handing out drugs like candy and just destroying, the white family. You're not going to directly, tell me that, or have me believe that, when clearly there are stats out here that will give you and show you what the problem really is. And again, it's an internal one, right? So they listed Tulsa, right? And then they also listed Oklahoma City, right? So then last but not least, we're going to go to another one here. Let me just scroll directly through. But yeah, hold on. But again, I know that I might sound like a broken record on a lot of the videos that I just so happen to do, but this is the reason why, because people need to understand that they will put certain types of stories, they will put certain types of headlines directly out there in order to initially get people drawn, into whatever it is that they're trying to directly peddle to you. And the main thing that they've always tried to state is that black people are the number one people that are out here, dibbling and dabbling and, selling drugs and breaking apart the American family. Remember back in the day when they had the war on drugs, and a poster child for the war on drugs were black people. Even if you were to look at the stats back then, it's going to be the same thing here. The overwhelming majority of the populations of these states are white, are Caucasian. So then when you look at the drug usage and you think about how these people are getting the drugs, it's not going to be from black people. It's going to be from their own people, because a lot of people trust their own people, right? People are pretty much wary of other people that don't specifically look what? Just like them, right? So, it's something else. So next, we're going to go to good old Nebraska. So what do we have here? Race and ethnicity. So they say that the population of Nebraska is 1.8. That is pretty low. So the population of white is 80%, 1.51 million people. Hispanic is 189K, Black 88.4K, Asian 39.8K, Mixed 36.4K, and other 16.3K. So overwhelmingly, the population of Nebraska is 80% white. So how would those drugs be getting into, and we're talking about cocaine, right? So how would those drugs specifically get into Nebraska? Who would also be holding down those drugs and know about those drugs and distribute those drugs, both at clubs, nightclubs, college campuses, right? Because you got to think about it again, because the main story that they also tell is that there is a huge drug epidemic on these college campuses, right? Overwhelmingly, who's at these colleges, right? Who own these colleges? Whose kids are grandfathered in because they might have made a wing or donated 100 or 1 million or whatever it is directly to the college? Because what do people always like to say? Oh, black people don't read. Black people don't go to school. Black people don't have an education, right? So if we're supposed to go with that narrative that people like to push out there and give, even though we got other things to show, then who's left to be in those colleges peddling and selling all these drugs and also making these drugs within the chemistry labs that are available at those colleges? It wouldn't be Black folks, right? Because we don't got money. We're not able to get there, right? How can, as people would like to say, how can we afford to go there? Because we don't got affirmative action. So Black people can't afford to go to those colleges now because there's no such thing as affirmative action, right? So that means that, college rates for Black kids should be dropping. The acceptance rates should be pretty much non-existent, right? So again, that leaves one common denominator when it deals with a lot of these drugs and who is selling them, who is providing, who is making these drugs, who is importing these drugs in, right? But maybe it's just me, you know? So now we're going to go to the next one, right? We're going to, that's another story a little bit later on. So now we're going to go to the next story here, right? We're going to deal with heroin, or heroin as some people would like to pronounce it here. And they state that we got Minneapolis, right? We got Omaha, Nebraska. And we just did Nebraska. Nebraska has 1.8, 80% of the population is what? White. So if you got a high usage in heroin that is being used in a lot of these states, who's concocting, who's making this in their basements? Who's making this in their attics? Who's making this at some abandoned house or warehouse? Right? Who owns a business where they're making this in some type of, far off, brandly new built bunker or whatever it is underground, right? Because we all know Black people ain't sitting up there like, yeah, I'm about to, make a extra bunker, under the house that's, off any blueprints, and I'm about to just, have this lab, downstairs. Ain't nobody gonna know. Nah, nope, it ain't us. We went through what is it, Kansas, correct? Kansas has a population of 2.8 million people, and they stated that Kansas is 76.8% white. Okay. We went through Oklahoma City yet again. Did we do Tulsa? Yeah, we did Tulsa because we did the whole population of Oakland. Let's go to Columbus, Ohio. Let's see what they got. Columbus has a population of 11.5 million people. We're going to go to race and ethnicity yet again, and they state that the population is 80% white in Ohio at 9.27 million. Hispanic, 380K. Black, 1.42 million. Asian, 225K. Mixed, 260K. Other, 35.4K. So yet again, we're dealing with heroin. And in a lot of the cities that have been shown around the United States, you can look on Twitter, IG, YouTube, you start to see a zombie land. And there's a certain complexion, there's a certain group of people that are looking like these zombies. There's a certain group of people that when you look out, you see them highly strung out on the streets, right? It's almost like all of them are doing the mannequin challenge. And they're just like hung over, pants falling down, clothes all over the place, people laying in dirty water puddles, some of them laying in their own feces, laying on another person, and they're strung out. And this is the epidemic. And this is what I sat up there and told people before. I was talking about this some years ago, before we really started seeing these zombie lands, these zombie cities. I was telling a lot of white people before, I'm like, yo, you can laugh at some of the stuff that's going on in the Black community, but sooner or later, it's all going to come right back to you. And this is where we are. We are seeing the zombie epidemic in a lot of these streets. You're seeing a lot of these white parents come out and crying about their fathers, their husbands, their wives, their children, their aunts and their uncles, and even their little dogs too, that are suffering because what? They got strung out. They got caught up on these drugs. And whenever they talk about them getting caught and strung up on these drugs, do you ever hear them happen to actually list Black people as being the main cause? Nope. because they can't, because they know specifically who is making and where it is that they are getting these hard drugs from. And then on top of that, I've covered videos showcasing the fact that the white community has enabled the usage of a lot of these, I think, what do they call them, scheduled class A drugs or whatever it is, right? Some of the most illegal drugs that take lives every single day. They enable people at facilities that they've specifically made. Right now, note, a lot of these drugs are illegal. So I'm telling you about like cocaine. I'm telling you about the heroin, and there's some other ones that's about to be listed up here too. They literally have areas where you can go and you can take these drugs. You can get clean needles. You can have a place to also rest and sleep off some of the effects and then walk out. But yet, and also I want to note, the police are there too. So the same police that are supposed to be out on the streets arresting people for the illegal use are the exact same ones at these facilities watching people do this illegal usage. And this is what I told people before, that everybody is in on it. You supposedly got the police that's supposed to protect and serve and that's supposed to carry an oath and all this other type of stuff, when legally they don't have to save you. They don't have to care. And that is being shown by way of the police watching people do these illegal drugs that they're supposed to be arresting and putting them in prison for and jails for. But quote unquote America's like, hey, we're doing this to give help to the people. We don't want people strung out on the streets. We don't want people, using dirty needles, reusing needles, because that gives a higher rate of, all these other diseases directly out there by way of needle sharing and needle reusage amongst other drug users. So we're going to give them a safe environment where they can use all of these illegal drugs, which are illegal. So the question is, if you got a facility where the police are there, you got doctors there, and they're allowing people to get into the illegal/legal usage of these narcotics, who's making these narcotics? If you got government-funded buildings where people built these buildings by federal dollars, taxpayer dollars, and they have all of this illegal narcotics there, illegal drugs, who's cooking up those drugs? I'm not sure if anybody's understanding what it is that I'm telling y'all. So let me just put it very plainly. The United States is sitting up there feeding you drugs legally because they're able to profit off of it. They can cook it up legally, send it out and push it out legally, get you high, still get you hooked, and make money off the whole situation. But yet, if you decide to go out there and you want to dibble and dabble and peddle any of these narcotics, guess what? They got laws, rules, and regulations. So this is what I told y'all before, where you got rules for you and then rules for them. The rules for you does not apply to them, and the rules for them for damn sure don't apply to you. So this is why they can legally sell something that is illegal and give it to you without having to go to jail, face any prison time, without anybody saying nothing. Ain't that about something? So you're looking at the real drug dealers. And this is when I told people before that if you pay very close attention to a lot of the stories and a lot of news directly out there, they're telling you what it is that they are doing directly in your face. And I keep telling people that, if you really want to hide the truth directly from people, you put it directly in front of their face, because they're not going to believe it. They're going to look past it. They'll look at everything else but the truth that you're actually giving them. And the United States has been telling you this stuff for years. So much so that they even got documentaries talking about how, these corporations been out here selling drugs and getting people hooked. I did a story not too long ago. I'm not even sure if it's even still up on this channel, but I did a story not too long ago about a company, white owned, that literally, got people hooked. And then once they got people hooked, they were the same company to come out with the medication to get people unhooked. Making money hand over fist. In the United States know about it. The government knows about it. The lobbyists know about it. The people in Senate and Congress, they all know about it. Like I keep telling people, everything is one big party. You're just not invited. That's all it is. It's one big party, and you're not invited. And it's always interesting to me whenever it is that I've gone online and I've seen, either news anchors or news stories, or I've seen other white Americans that always push the story of black people and drugs and narcotics. But yet, overwhelmingly, your people are the main ones that are affected. Why? Because you're the overwhelming population of the United States. So that would also mean that you're the main ones that are also selling, along with dealing with the usage, along with dealing with the fact that you now have to plan funerals, along with the fact that if you're not planning funerals, then some of your people are in the hospitals. You're the overwhelming majority that are suffering and passing away from this because your own people that you've lobbied for or that you put in office are allowing you to be hooked. And these are the people that are supposed to have your best interest at heart, but they're showing you the only best interest that they got is themselves and the money that's lining their pockets, which ain't coming from you. And this is why other people sit up there and say that if you really want to get to the point of, dealing with people in Congress and in Senate, you got to shake some hands, meaning that you got to give some people some money. That's how politics works. Politics has always been about money. Don't let nobody tell you no different. Money makes everything happen. Don't let nobody tell you different. Being nice is not going to make stuff happen. Being generous is not going to sit up there and make stuff happen. Being the most caring person out here is not going to make stuff happen. If you really want laws, rules, and regulations to change, if you really want people to sit up there and respect you, all you need is money. Because I put it to you like this. On social media, every single day, everybody has, if you think right now about a celebrity that you really dislike, everybody has one, right? And what is the main common thing about all of those celebrities? One, they have fame, and they also all have money. Nobody's really thinking about a person that is broke, that is on the streets, that they dislike. Everybody has a famous celebrity, somebody who has power and money that they dislike. Correct? So, like I said before, if people really wanted to make a change, if they really wanted to cause a shakeup, then, as a lot of people have stated, hey, get the community together. Everybody, pull up some money, and you push that money towards getting some legislation passed, getting some things happening, because again, everybody respects money. You might have bigotry, you might have discrimination, you might have racism directly out here, but the one common color that everybody loves is green. Don't let nobody tell you different. I would technically say gold and silver, but nobody's really carrying that like they used to carry that more than likely one time before in the past. So green is the common thing that everybody loves, and also what everybody loves to hate. So let's keep going. We got Indianapolis directly here. So we're gonna go there. Right. And we got a population of 6.5 million, right? In Indianapolis, Indiana. And we're going to go to the race and ethnicity here. And they say that 80%, right? 5.28 million people are white. Hispanic, 420K. Black, 608K. Asian, 130K. Mixed, 122K. Other, 24.3K. So yet again, we're hitting the exact same points that we were hitting directly before. Next, we got good old the Tennessee at 6.5 million. Going to go to that hot race and ethnicity with an overwhelming 74.5% being white at 4.88 million. Hispanic, 318K. Black, 1.10 million. Asian, 105K. Mixed, 118K. And other at 25.8K people. So yet again, we're dealing with the exact same thing yet again. Matter of fact, let's just keep this train going right here. We're the top 10 cities with the most methamphetamine usage. So, like I told you before, just remember, pay attention to the states that are being listed directly here. We got California. We already know that California is pretty much 50-50 when it deals with the white population and Hispanic population. We got Las Vegas. I'm not sure if I even did Las Vegas, but we're about to do that directly right now. Maybe I did. I probably did. I probably did. But we're going to go directly right back to it. Las Vegas, we got in general for the state, we got 2.8 million. Overwhelmingly, it's white at 51.3%. So you got 1.46 million white persons, Hispanic 777K, Black 244, Asian 223, mixed 94.1, other 46.8 yet again. Right? Then we also got Tucson, Arizona. We got Mesa up there again. We got Phoenix. We got Omaha, Nebraska. We got Kansas, Oklahoma. Right? Oh, we got Texas up here. Let's just check that one out. Texas has a population of 26.9 million people. We're going to go to the race and ethnicity, and overwhelmingly 43.4% of the population is white at 11.7 million people. Hispanic 10.3 million, Black 3.22 million, Asian 1.18 million, mixed for 423K, and other at 118K people. So yet again, if we're to look at these populations of the majority of the states that are being listed, the overwhelming theme is that they are what? Caucasian. They are controlled by who? Caucasian. So we would then deduce that more than likely the overwhelming majority, who are the populace there, would be selling, and they would also be dibbling and dabbling, right? But then they're also the same ones who make the rules, laws, and regulations when it deals with a lot of these illegal substances. But then when you look at the states and you look at the people who are also in office, overwhelmingly it reflects the populace, which is white, and some of them have also been caught up in what? Drug usage. So going back to what I said before, where they got certain rules for you and they got certain rules for them. The rules for them don't apply to you, and the rules for you don't apply to them. So this is why you can have people who are in office, they're not getting, jail time. They're not getting prison time for having or using any of these drugs. But yet if it was you, oh, guess what? They're putting you in prison. But yet these are the same people that state that, people who are going through, drug usage, they need help. They need assistance. We need to do something for them. They don't, if you're Black, they ain't talking about you. They're talking about everybody else but you. Like I said before, people better pay attention to the signs and the symptoms of cancer, of sickness, because I'm not trying to hear people later on start crying and start talking about, I don't know where this, because this is the main theme that I always see with white people online. They're like, oh, I don't know how this happened. I don't know where this came. You do know how it happened. You do know where it came from. It came from you. You are destroying your own family. You are destroying your own marriages. You are destroying your own bodies, your own relationships, your own communities, your own states. You are, with your drug usage and your you're selling and peddling. You are also destroying America. But yet nobody wants to talk about that, though. Everybody always wants to point the finger towards this minority group. They want to point the finger towards these Black people over here. They want to point the finger towards people, quote unquote, coming illegally across the border. But yet, the main person that seemingly doesn't get any blame for anything, that escapes scot-free from any type of attention, any type of recognition, any type of acknowledgement, any type of ownership of the problem, is white people. Ain't that about something? It's interesting how that takes place. It's interesting how that happens, and it's funny how that does not get called out enough online. Because when I go online and I just so happen to see a lot of stories that people are talking about, again, people tend to shy away from trying to specifically place and put blame where it needs to be put. Again, if we're dealing with life problems, life situations, and we're specifically dealing with your life, guess what? That means that is a you problem, right? So that means if any of us that are listening to this live stream right now, if we have personal problems, that personal problem is a you problem. That is something that you have some type of control of, right? We all put ourselves into different situations. We've all been the common denominator when it deals with certain problems because we know if we take ourselves out of that situation, out of that problem, guess what? That problem don't exist, at least for us. So again, it will be an us thing. It will be a self thing. So when it deals with the drug epidemic in the United States, that is a self. That is an internal problem of the ones who are in control, of the ones who founded the country, of the ones who make up the overwhelming population in the Senate, in the government, when it deals with all of the presidents directly up there on the board. It's dealing with them. And also, people also need some help. So you have the dogs of war who will be the cops, right? Because the cops are basically there not to protect the people, but to protect the rich and the businesses. And then beyond them, you also have privatized armies, right? And then beyond them, you also got the military. So, it's funny to me that a lot of people don't actually understand how much of a problem that we're actually looking at, where the government and businesses have the protection of privatized military, right? They got the police, and they also have the actual military. So what protections do average, ordinary people in the United States actually have? None, other than themselves, if even that. But yet, slowly but surely, they've been, again, just like with drugs, making laws to make sure that ordinary people cannot get guns, correct? But who keeps getting the guns that they're trying to keep the guns away from, right? They state that they keep trying to take and keep the guns away from the criminals. But somehow, some way, the criminals keep getting these guns. I've showcased stories to y'all before where certain incidences, people have talked about like, yo, there have been white vans and other vehicles chocked full of military grade weapons just left in an area unmarked, just there. And just magically these weapons are found. And nobody questions or finds a problem or an issue directly with that. Just like how you had a white dude way back in the day who basically deduced that the United States government was importing cocaine into the black communities, flooding the black communities with drugs in order to basically cause a problem so that when the problem arises, people will scream and cry to the United States government to save them from the same problem that they also caused. Interesting. So again, looking at the Patriot Act, looking at a lot of other things that are taking place, people of the United States don't have an actual real defense, which means that when push comes to shove, nobody's going to be able to protect themselves from the government. Because if we're to look at, by the images that I put up, a lot of people can't even protect themselves from themselves. So if you can't protect yourself from an internal enemy, which is you, how could then you protect yourself from an outside enemy that has more armaments, that has, more people, that has more backing, that has more support? How could you realistically actually do and get over that Herculean feat? How? So, just saying, just, putting that stuff directly out there. Just talking. Random black dude, just, saying some stuff online. So next, we're going to go to this one here where it says, that's the, oops, I put that up there again. Ha, ha, ha. So we're going to go to this one right here. Now, notice this. Top 10 cities with the least overall drug use. And I want to highlight the main thing here. Actually, no. Let me go back because I don't think that's a different one. I'm sorry. So Yeah, let's go back to this one. Top 10 cities with the most overall drug use. So this is why you see the arrows going up. I actually, almost skipped this because I thought it was a previous slide that I had up there for you guys. So we see that the drug use is increasing where? Minneapolis, right? Indiana, right? Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Colorado, Nevada, Arizona. And we know the populations of all of these states. We know the populations, and it ain't black. it ain't black, right? So now I can actually clear cut go to the very next slide, which is this: the top 10 cities with the least overall drug use. And I want to sit up there and highlight much love, appreciation, and shout out to all of those in Detroit, all of my black people in Detroit. Much love, respect, and appreciation to y'all, because we've been through a lot where the media wanted to put Detroit on the map. Detroit was murder capital, 3 years running this murder capital. Look at what the blacks are doing. They can't do nothing right? That's the main thing that they wanted to sit up there and push. But look at this here though, when it deals with the drug use, a black city is down in comparison. Let me go back up there. In comparison to all of these white populated areas? How is that possible? We also got New York as well. Matter of fact, I'm pretty interested. Let me actually go to New York real quick. Let me look at the population of New York, right? New York's population overall is 19.6 million. Race and ethnicity. Overwhelmingly, New York is 56.4% white at 11.1 million. Hispanic, 3.41 million, right? Black, 3.7 million. Asian, 1.6 million. Mixed, 351K. Other, 157K. Interesting, right? You got 3 million black folks there. Drug usage is down. Let's go to the population of Detroit, right? Since, we're already here. Let's just go to Michigan real quick, right? And we're going to deal with the overall, population. So Michigan overwhelmingly is 75.7% white, right? Hispanic, 459K. Black, 1.38 million, right? And they stated that Detroit, Michigan is a part of the places where the overall drug use is down, or it is at least the least, right? And I'm quite amazed. Then we also got Atlanta, Georgia. Like, notice how you got a lot of what's been considered black areas directly up here, right? Why am I having a hard time finding Georgia? That's crazy. All right, let's go to Georgia. Population, 10 million people, right? So overwhelmingly, Georgia is 54.1% white at 5.47 million people. Hispanic, 882K. Black, 3.15 million. So you got 3.15 million black people there. Not that far from the white population. A couple of million. And you mean to tell me that the overall drug usage is down? That's a little bit weird. Because I could have sworn the narrative that I've been given my whole life is that black people are drug users. That black people are drug dealers. Right? That's been the main thing that has been shown to me. When I look back on all of the news that I've been able to hear, on even some of the things that I learned in school, I've been taught that black people are the main ones, are the main perpetrators, right? That magically black people are just the kingpin when it deals with drugs. Anything negative, black people are just the kings of it. And here I'm basically seeing something vastly different. It's almost as if I was lied to the greater portion of my life when it deals with black people and how it is that people decide, the media, which is white owned by the way, decides that they want to push this narrative dealing with black people. It's quite amazing. It's astonishing. But like I said before, even with all of these stats that you put directly up here, people will still go with what is within them, what is ingrained, what it is that they believe, right? What it is that they were indoctrinated into. Even with all of these stats, even with all of the stuff that I'm telling y'all today, dealing with this specific one topic, people will still go out there and state that black people are the poster children when it deals with this. That when it comes to drugs and the propensity to for all of it, it's specifically black people, which is crazy. They even have a listing down here for food stamps within the United States as well. And it's very, very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Right? So let me just go over this real quick, right? So the interesting part when they look at the food stamps part, they say that black people, right? The count is at 4 million, right? Other is at 1, Hispanic is at 2 million, mixed ethnicity is at 433K. All races in general, 15 make up 15.4 million of the persons that are on food stamps, right? They state that white is 7.21 million, right? Asian 395K. Interesting. And then they also give you, the state percentages of, everybody that is on food stamps. And then they have, map of food stamps by counties, right? Like I said, it's very, very interesting stuff. And a lot of the stuff that I've learned about when they dealt with government assistance and food stamps, I remember Time Magazine, who have since stripped the internet of their information. They brought out an article not too long ago where they had a white woman on the cover, and they were talking about the main ones who are, getting, food stamps in the United States. And I'm like, that would, in a sense, make sense because you're the overall, majority directly out there. So if the government is to actually assist somebody, it's going to be their own. It's going to be you, right? But again, the main thing that takes place is that people want to say that black people are the poster child for, government food stamps, so that we all of black people basically are on food stamps. We take up all the government assistance, Medicaid and Medicare, and all of these other types of things. When that doesn't, the math is not mathing on that. It's not enough black people on the face of North America in order to literally drain the economy in that way. It's just not like that. That just doesn't even. We're like, what are we in? What's the debtage that we got? Let me see. U.S. debt. Let's see, where are we at? Let me see if I can find some real quick. They said, and this was from January 18th of 2023, the U.S. national debt was more than 31.42 trillion in 2022. So, and now they stated that the national debt tops 33 trillion, right? So you're not going to tell me that the reason that we got all of these trillions of dollars worth of debt is because black people and government assistance and black people are just magically running off with money. That wouldn't even make sense. Somebody else who is the majority would have to be the causation of that debt first, realistically. So again, when you look at the governments and you think about all of the blacklisted funding that the government does and some of the other stuff that is completely off the books, again, a lot of the tax dollars that we give to the government, you don't know where it goes. We basically, in a sense, got some theories. We might have some factual evidence, but we cannot 100% basically say, oh, yeah, our tax dollars are going specifically to this welfare here and it's going to this Medicaid. No. A lot of government money gets pocketed by the government. A lot of government money gets, swept under the rug. A lot of the government money goes to other places around the world. A lot of the government money is also locked up in drugs, which the United States government also sells directly to the American people. So, like I said before, your tax dollars are everywhere. So it also goes back to the what I said before about everything being a self problem. So that also means that America is its own worst enemy. Not realistically anybody else. Not saying that anybody else out here ain't a threat to America, because of course you're going to have outside threats, right? But the main people that can do the most damage to itself is those people, because you know yourself better than you know anybody else. Nobody else knows you better than you know you, right? Not unless you told them a whole bunch of information, which you need to stop snitching on yourself. But other than that, nobody has the power to destroy America realistically other than America, other than the United States government. And what slowly and surely are you basically seeing happen at this moment in time with the United States? It is slowly crumbling, eating itself. That's what's taking place. That's what's happening. And yet they got y'all fixated on all of this news dealing with problems everywhere else around the world and all. Not saying that other problems ain't important, but I'm saying that if we're supposed to be the number one, we're supposed to be the top dog. How are you going to be the top dog, but you got the most problems? How are you going to be the top dog when you got third world issues in a first world country? How are you going to do that? How are you going to be top dog where other people in other countries are more educated than your own people? Because your education system in the United States is shit compared to everywhere else. Like, that doesn't make sense. And then some people will make the argument, well, if our education is shit, then why is it that everybody wants to come here and basically do that? Because that's what people tend to do. If they have the opportunity or the chance to basically go somewhere else to maybe get a little bit more, they're going to do that. But at the end of the day, those same people are going to go right back home, and they're going to give the information and that knowledge to their people. Therefore, the more and more that they do that, they take from here and they send it back over, the less and less they basically need the United States. So yet again, it comes back down to the effect of the United States affecting itself more than anybody else. When it deals with factory jobs, I remember I told you guys before, being how old was I during that time? This was back during like the 2000s. I remember Hugh Perkins being on Fox 2 News, and he gave a report specifically stating that the unemployment rate, when it was dealing with factory jobs and stuff, it was at about like 2 to 5% at that time. You scroll all the way down to 2023, where are we at with factory jobs? Where are we at with jobs in America? Factory jobs, we used to be the it place for factory jobs. We had a lot of places, even in Michigan, when it dealt with factory jobs. You had places in Flint. You had some places in Ypsilanti. You had some places in I think Pontiac. Yeah, especially had places in Detroit. And slowly but surely, those places where you did have black people that generationally were going there, and they were getting jobs, and then they were ushering in their children and their children's children. Because be real, if people look at the factory workers back in the day, they were proficient. They were good at what it is that they did. And some of them were like, all right, I went through high school. I don't need to do anything else. I don't need to do a college. For what? This is a career. This is my job. I'm good at what it is that I do. Right. So America was like, damn, people are looking a little bit too self-sufficient. This is looking a little bit too good here. We're gonna have to just pull out, a lot of these factory jobs, because we don't want people being this self-sufficient and being this independent. We need to cause a problem where there isn't a problem, and then we really need to save it and make more money. So, what best way just to sit up there and cut off our nose to spite our face? So we're going to sit up there and get rid of the jobs. We're going to cause problems within certain communities. So let me just do it the conservative way, right? So when the government decided that they wanted to get rid of jobs, they decided to hit American families first. So you had, white men and women that were out here directly at these factories, right? They were, working there for generations. Their Peepaw and their Meemaw and all these other people were basically, working there. And then they had little Steven, and, he was going to work there as well. But the United States government thought that, what? We want you to do something different. We're going to, take away your abilities to do this, because we know that you can do more. We want you to sit up there and struggle, and through that struggle you're going to strive. Through all that struggling, you're going to be the coal that you are and formulate into a diamond, right? And that's the purpose for the reason why the United States government decided to do that, because they wanted the American people to actually work. They didn't want them to be soft anymore, to just, bet on one thing. They wanted them to be more. I mean, that wasn't exactly the conservative way, but you get what I'm saying. The main point is that the main majority that is in the United States caused a problem when there wasn't a problem. Everybody was fine and dandy. Like, people don't understand, like, there's a correlation between people not having jobs and drug usage, people not having jobs and crime rate, poverty. If you give people jobs where they're able to actually work and make sufficient money, crime is going to go down. Poverty is going to go down. So you have to ask yourselves again, why would the United States want to cause a problem when realistically there wasn't a problem there? Now, of course, you got some variables and some things that, yeah, of course, even with an abundance of jobs, people will still, commit crimes, but it's not going to be as much. Of course, you're still going to have drug users and people that sell it, but it's not going to be as much. Yeah, you might have a little bit of poverty, but it's not going to be as much. I would rather have not as much versus the abundance of bull that we got directly out here. But like I said before, people, I guess people are up for causing problems and willing to be defeated in those same problems and then point the finger at somebody else. So when there comes a point in time where something happens to the United States, where, let's say, I don't know, EMP, let's say the electricity goes out, don't be caught up in the whole thing of trying to say that somebody else did it. If at any point in time the internet, electricity, communications basically goes out, don't be too amped on the first thing that you hear that it was this country, it was that country, it was these enemies. No, always remember that the greatest enemy is within. All of us at this moment in time, if everybody during this live stream, if you really think to yourself, you sit there and you ponder who your greatest enemy is. You're not going to sit up there and say that it was like an abusive father or a mother that didn't care about you. You're not going to sit up there and say that, it's these people. The greatest enemy that you have to face is you. And 98% of people have never actually faced that enemy because a lot of people are afraid to face themselves. So how can we really, in a sense, state that we know who the true or the real enemy is when we have never defeated the greatest enemy that is within? So again, how can the United States government or the United States in general state that China, Korea, Russia, or whoever is the greatest enemy when they've never defeated the greatest enemy that is within, which is them? They never have and they never will. So again, this is what it looks like when you got propaganda that is given to people, where we've been taught in school that everybody else is basically the enemy and we're basically the greatest of the greatest, we're the top dog, and everybody else is just meant to, in a sense, follow us and this, that, and the third. Why would people want to sit up there and continuously follow somebody that continuously loses? You literally have a debt of 33 trillion. How is that even possible? Like I said, nobody wants to point the finger at who's the main cause of this. Nobody wants to point the finger. Like I said, who's controlling the government? Who's directly in power when it deals with this? Who's also the ones who pass any type of rules or legislation where we don't really even have gold or silver to back up our own dollar? Our dollar is pretty much backed up by oil. And then anytime that somebody else comes around with a brighter idea, which is a smart idea, where they're like, we're going to use, gold to back our currency. Better yet, we're going to trade with gold. That's going to be the standard. That's going to be the currency. The United States government is going to lose on that, because what gold do we really have in the United States? You got all of these other countries, like let's say like the Congo. They got mountains of gold there. the Congo could literally formulate their own financial system where it just basically deals with gold. And if anybody wants to barter or deal with them, they have to deal with it in gold. Do you think that the other nations around the world would want to, delve into that whole gold trade? Nope. Because it's advantageous and beneficial for one group, and it's not that for them. So the United States government has had opportunities where other people, quote unquote enemies, have came up with ideas of backing oil trades with gold. Slowly but surely, those people don't seem to exist anymore. That's highly suspicious to me, but maybe that's just me. You had other people that were like, you know what, our economy is going to be on a gold standard. Oddly enough, those people don't seem to exist anymore. Maybe it's just me. And then again, after those people seem to not be there, you don't have anybody else talking about trying to use a gold standard. It's almost as if people were feared into not wanting to change what the standard is. Ain't that something? Or maybe it was just me. Maybe it's just me. But then this also goes into the effect of, let's say, like the Anti-Hoarding Act, right? Where you're not supposed to be able to hold food past 30 days, right? Maybe this goes into the effect of other states around the United States where they tell you that it's illegal for you to capture and to hold rainwater because they made up some bullshit. Like I said, people got to realize that the same government that told you that they don't want you to be dependent on them is the exact same government trying to make sure that you're 100% dependent on them. And they're going to make sure that that is plausible by way of the people. Because in order for them to pass a lot of this legislation, we have to allow it to be passed. Because people tend to forget that the government is supposed to work for the people, not the people are supposed to be working for the government. But yet here we are. We're all working for the government. And how is that? Because we're in $33 trillion worth of debt. Look at how that worked out. Look at that. Crazy, ain't it? It's the most maddening and craziest thing to realize that you as a person, no matter how free that you think that you are still a slave to somebody. And this is the same thing that I just told white people not too long ago. Y'all don't want to believe in slavery. Y'all want to say that this was so long ago. Well, guess what? Now you're a slave. You're a slave to your exact same people. You're a slave to the system that you created. And now what are white people sitting up there doing? They're coming out here on TikTok and IG talking about, oh, everybody's a slave, in the United States. Look at what's going on. Look at what's happening. Everybody needs to wake up, get over all of this race and all this other type of stuff. So I just want to remind people, Black people have a hard time getting over the race issue because it is something that is present. It is something that is real. It is something that has transpired and happened, or that is still happening at this moment in time, that was not created by Black people. So it's crazy to think that Black people are supposed to get over that real issue when the other people who created it are saying that they're done with it because now they're close to being in or are already in the exact same predicament as what Black people are already in. But then because it didn't affect you and it wasn't your problem, quote unquote, slavery, you didn't really care. You wasn't really technically saying anything. I'm talking about the majority. I'm not talking about specifically one group of people that sat up there and fought to free Black. I'm talking about in general. Right? When I say this, I'm talking about in general because I get tired of people trying to bring up those small variables and all that other type of bullshit. I'm talking about in general. But now, because you start to see the veil is starting to rise, you're starting to actually see the truth that you've been tricked because they gave you the whole treatment of like, we're going to give you a little bit more than the Black people. You're not really better than them, but we're going to give you a little bit more to make you think that you are. So now that veil is starting to basically pull up, that house of cards is starting to crumble. That glass house is now breaking down. Now people are like, yo, we got to get over this race stuff. This is not black or white. This is all of us because we're all American. It's funny how that works out now when it's your problem. Now when you got to deal with it. Now when you should be the one to fix and clean it up, because guess what? You're the master of the universe. You're the gods out here. You created everything. You found everything, right? You modernized Africa. So how is it possible that the people that basically modernized and taught the globe, right? Every culture out here, you done gave information and educated and all. How is it possible that now a problem that you created, now everybody else got to join in to help you fix it? That's crazy to me. That's crazy how that works out. That is, you're literally He-Man, masters of the universe. I got the power. You got all that power and you falling. You failing. You got a little bit too close to the sun because you thought you could hold it. You thought that you was really going to be able to stare at the sun without any ill effects, and you were wrong. You thought you were going to be able to sit there and bathe in the sun for hours on end, and now you caught cancer. Look at that. And you want somebody else to fix that problem, that cancer that you caused because you put yourself in that predicament. Better yet, I'm sorry, you didn't just put yourself there. You put everybody else there. But it's funny how people don't want to call that out. You see a whole bunch of black conservatives, they want to sit up there and, state their stuff. And I get it. It's money at the end of the day. Some of them might actually believe it. Other ones are like, well, it's only a few of us doing it. If I decide to jump in here, I'll get a share of that money too. So why not? Like I said, I get it. Everybody loves money. And also everybody hates money at the same time. I get it. No problem. Like I said before, I just wish that people would be real about this situation. I just really wish that people would be real about, the situation and the reasons why they sit up there and do it. I respect honesty. I really do. I really, really respect honesty, even if it's coming from a racist. No problem. You're an honest racist. No problem. Go out there and do you. Be you. Just don't be lying. Just don't be lying. Right? So now we're going to go to the next story right here. Well, this is just a little clip. And it basically states the woman wrote, let me try to zoom this up so that I can see it right. So the woman said that, y'all, I was with Bow Wow last night and I see why he had little in front of his name, and he only gave me $1,500. We agreed upon 12 grand so I could buy a Rolex. So I just want people to pay attention to that. This woman here, who is admitting to something very illegal, she's admitting to being a prostitute. She's admitting to also exchanging money for sex, putting her own business out there. Let me reiterate this. Let me just point out two things. Number one, I need people to realize that this is not Amsterdam. This is not some European country where prostitution is legal. You gotta, if you want to do stuff by illegally, you need to shut up. Like, I don't understand what it is with the generation of women that are doing illegal things and they want to be on social media for a little bit of clout. They want to, get some likes, they want to get some clicks, but it's like you're digging a hole for yourself. If the government ever wanted to get you on taxes, they're like, oh, you got 1,500 for this and we ain't seen none of that, but you were supposed to get 12 grand. We need to know how much money you was really making. Because now we're about to sit up there and go after you for everything. Number two, this is the reason why a lot of guys in America don't mess with women of America. Because people don't know how to shut up. You're out here actually making something. But it's like, let me just be real for a minute. So you mean to tell me that the quote unquote agreed price was 12 grand? So you're getting 12 grand for laying on your back? I need to, I'm just trying to quantify this as a guy. Like I said, I understand if some people got it, they can spend their money however they want to sit up there and do it. I get that. No problem there. You got it. It's good. Whatever. But again, this goes back to the point of people trying to call Bow Wow broke. But if he was broke, he wouldn't have been affording none of this for this woman. But I'm just going to be real. No woman out here is worth 12K. Nobody's going to make an argument to me that a woman is out here that is worth 12K for just laying on her back for a night. No. No, 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 no. That is a bad investment. That is a bad investment. Like, that's like, what are we doing out here? What do we like? Let me also just be real. Again, if she was quote unquote worth 12K, she wouldn't be messing with Bow Wow. She'll be messing with the sheiks. She'll be going over there to the Middle East, and she'll be messing with all of the rich Arab billionaires directly over there, getting passed around, getting treated like a human toilet, all of this other type. If she was really worth 12K, if she was worth that money, that's where she would go. She wouldn't be messing with dudes in America. Or if she was messing with dudes of America, it'll be of a certain caliber. It wouldn't be somebody that is a rapper. No disrespect to Bow Wow or any other male rappers out here. I'm stating it will be an executive. It will be the president of a company. It will be somebody that is in Congress, that holds a seat of office, somebody of real power. That's who she will be actually messing with. But that's not what we're looking at. She's on social media basically telling you her main job that she gets money from is laying directly on her back, and she's mad that she didn't get the money that she felt that she deserved. Well, ma'am, if you realistically thought that you were worth that money, start you an OnlyFans. I'm just going to be real, like I told people before. Do an OnlyFans. If you really feel as a woman that you are worth that money, that you're trying to, that dollar sign you're trying to put on your body, do an OnlyFans. There's tons of women out here during the pandemic. Some women were bringing in 200K a month. 200K. You were actually able to look up these numbers. 200K a month. Think about that. A woman making videos, her own personal time, doing whatever it is that she wants to sit up there and do, and she's able to make 200K from putting her body directly out there. Now, that's some actual money. I respect that. No problem. Because you're doing it your own way, your own rules. You don't got to pimp. You don't got to worry about, STDs or different things like that. You're just putting out the content the way that you want to put it out, and you're in full 100% control of it. This right here looks crazy. This right here speaks broke to me. If I see a woman on here talking about she's a prostitute and she didn't get the money that she feels that she deserves, ma'am, you are in the wrong line of work. Wrong. Like, you're trying to treat this like it's some type of career. Like you're really out here doing something. You ain't doing nothing. You got the same body parts every other woman out here got. So if you think that you're worth 12K, so does that mean that every other woman out here is worth 12K? You got to be kidding me. 12K, that's a house. That's a car. That's an investment. That might be going to a community college or something like that. Like, 12K is a lot of money. I would never in my life. And I'm just talking about for me. And yes, I am a broke man. So I'm going to speak on this, even though I don't have 12K directly to my name. I would never sit up there and put 12K on a woman. For what? What am I getting for 12K? So let me just try to like quantify this, right? So for 12K that I give to this woman, is she also like a chef? Like, other than the sex, like, is she a chef? Can she make culinary foods from like around the world? Can she teach me like different languages? Can she, read the Rosetta Stone or something? What am I getting here? I'm like, if you're telling me that I'm just getting just solely the work of mouth, the lips from down below, and all of the other work that more than likely medical science has given you to get your body snatched, I feel like I'm getting robbed. Because, and the funniest thing is, at the end of the day, this woman realistically thought that she was doing something. She thought that she was really making Bow Wow seem bad. She only did it to herself. It's like, okay, your body looks okay. No problem. That's fine. You're feeling yourself because too many guys have given you compliments. And this goes to another thing. Guys, stop giving a lot of these girls out here compliments. Stop giving a lot of these women out here compliments, because shit like this happens. This is what it looks like when you feed a woman too many compliments and now she grows like an ego. She has a type of pride. This is what that looks like. because she thinks that she has really some type of status and power to really try to shame or do something to Bow Wow's image. Ma'am, at the end of the day, he bought you. He paid for you because you're a product. That's it. You monetized yourself, which means that there is a service, which means that you are selling a product. You received money for that service and or that product, but you felt that your product was worth more than any other woman's product out here. So now you feel slighted. So now you want to get on social media to try to drag this man through the mud. He's a rapper at the end of the day. He can either get women for free or he can go out there and be nice and pay for one of y'all. He opted to be nice and throw down a couple of coins, and you're mad at that couple of coins. You're a clown. This is how you mess up your own business, by running your mouth online. This is how you mess up your own business. And the other craziest part is, just putting this into perspective, right? Because we have feminism, right? The main thing about feminism is that, women wanted to be seen as like equal. They wanted, the same, rights, being able to vote. They want to be able to go get a house without needing a man, basically there, or a car, different things like that, right? They didn't want to be seen as objects. They didn't want to just be seen as sex, right? So you mean to tell me that all of that work that women did in the beginning, we now come to 2023 where women want to be seen as objects? They want to be sexualized and hypersexualized. They want their bodies, seen and deemed as some type of property that can be sold and purchased for the night. Didn't we just go backwards? Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me, because I could have sworn that's what women originally fought for. They didn't want to be degraded. They wanted to be valued. They wanted to be respected. But now in 2023, I'm seeing women degrade themselves, disrespect themselves, devalue themselves. Interesting how that works. But, again, at the end of the day, it's going to be a man's fault, right? At the end of the day, it's going to be a man's fault for the reason why, women are doing this, right? So let's go to the next one here, because we're on the dating stream. We're going to go to the next one here, and we have this. And this is real, folks. I just want y'all to understand this. This is not a joke. Tinder Vault membership. Choose your membership. Remember, only a limited number of seats will be available for the subscriptions. A 1-month subscription for Tinder is $500. A year on Tinder is $5,000. If there are any guys out here, and I'm going to put this as real as I can. If there are any guys out here paying $500 a month for Tinder, you still don't got no bitches, I don't know what to tell you. You are beyond down bad. You might as well be out here paying some prostitutes. And note, this is not me advocating and telling people to illegally dabble in something illegal, but I'm just going to be real. You might as well be, trying to throw that money at somebody on OnlyFans. If you're paying Tinder $500 a month, you might as well be paying somebody on OnlyFans to get the job done. This don't make no sense. This don't make no sense. Who is paying $500 a month for Tinder? And we've already had enough studies and enough articles basically stating how hard it is for normal average guys to be on these dating apps, and how girls just be hitting left, or however the shit works. Cause I ain't never been on there. I'm just saying, like, this shit is crazy. And it's like, if you're a guy, like, let me explain something to people. Normally, for a lot of websites, if you pay $500, there's a lot of benefits that you actually get. Like, they'll probably, like, send you some stuff. There'll be some free trials to a lot of different things and all of this other type of stuff, right? This is Tinder. The only people that's winning on Tinder is the women. If you're an average dude on any of these dating sites, you are not winning. Women have literally stated that they don't deal with basic dudes who got basic jobs. If you got a basic car, they're not dealing with you. If you dress basic, they're not dealing with you. If you don't have a 2 houses in a condo, they're not dealing with you. If you're not making a certain amount of money, they're not dealing with you. If you're not willing to give your girlfriend an allowance, they're not dealing with you. If you're not 6 feet plus, they're not dealing with you. If your dick ain't a certain size, they're not dealing with you. If you don't got six pack, they're not dealing with you. If you don't got other women chasing after you, they're not dealing with you. So that knocks out the greater majority, like 90+% of men directly out here when it deals with these dating apps, because women have these prerequisites for guys. But yet the women can look like anything, but the guys have to be basically built and drawn by Michelangelo. Like, it don't even make any sense. It's completely crazy and it's nonsensical. But yet the guys are the ones that's supposed to have this pride and this ego thing directly out here. But yet we got this. Please tell me that only women are paying for this. Please don't tell me that you got guys out here paying 500, paying 500 a month, or paying 5,000 a year for Tinder. What the fuck is Tinder actually giving you? Nothing. 5,000 a year? 5,000 a year? Is Tinder taking you out on like actual trips? So instead of like an actual Tinder date, that $5,000 per month is going to send you on dates. As a guy is going to send you on dates like around the world for that. Is that what they're offering? Because I bet you that they're not. Like, this shit out, this is crazy. No website out here is worth $5,000. Adult websites like PH, they don't have no memberships for $5,000 or 500 a month. Like, bro, they just want you to be there. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Timothy said, yo, what's up, Timothy? Timothy said 500 for the exclusive blue Tinder check. I guess. I didn't even know Tinder even had a check. I thought that was only Twitter. Twitter don't even charge you that much. People were getting up in arms when Twitter was like, I think, what was it supposed to be, like $8 or whatever it is. People were getting up in arms and making fun of people over $8. But I'm like, you got to be serious. I'm like, dog, you pay for like Netflix. Netflix pulls off movies and sometimes don't even really have movies. You're paying for Hulu. Like, you're paying for, all of these movies online, and you can get these things elsewhere. And note, this is not me advocating for people going through illegal channels in order to, obtain movies. That is not what I'm stating. I'm just stating the clear-cut obvious that is directly out there and that is offered. I'm just saying. I gotta put that directly out there because I don't know who'll be watching. But all of this shit is crazy. Timothy said, I'm pretty sure that some rich college kids already paid. I'm pretty sure. And Godspeed. Godspeed. YouTube said, too much money to do what you can do on your own. Just stepping out every now and then with less results. Yeah. Like I said, I don't want to hear, after we done already complained about certain women out here requiring like $300 just to even go out with them. I don't want to hear none of these dudes out here. If you're paying $500 a month for Tinder, I don't want to hear you complain about having to take a woman out for a date because you're already clowning yourself. You're already looking like a fool. Like, this is stupid. This is full-fledged stupid. I'm not even blaming Tinder. I blame the people. But now, since we're still on the dating era, we're going to go directly over to this. Yo, old school, what is up? What is up? Old school said facts. Netflix and some of these online streaming services are a hit and miss these days. That's facts. So now we are currently dealing with Jonathan Majors, the King of Kings. And the King has now gone down. That is clearly where we are at this moment in time. One post says that a New York jury has found Jonathan Majors guilty of assault in the 3rd degree and guilty of harassment. Another post said that Marvel Studios has also fired Jonathan Majors. So in one fell swoop, one woman got rid of Jonathan Majors' career. And it's something that I stated some time ago. I stated that if you are a black man and you decide to go left, you will go straight to jail. You will lose everything. If you go left, you will go to jail. You will lose everything. And Jonathan Majors went left. And this is what has happened to his career at this moment in time. And that is a shame. Even though they directly have video showcasing that Jonathan Majors was running away from this woman. Running away. Risked it all. And, and the funniest thing is now I have to, showcase, some of the stuff that I was going over, right? Timothy said, look at risking it all for a light girl. This is worse than Bow Wow. Yes, it's looking pretty bad. DC said, cooking with fire today, Seji. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Like I said, I try. I very much try to put some stuff together that will be, informative and very entertaining to you guys directly out here. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to make a window so that y'all can see the display, because I got some things here that I want to just so happen to showcase. Let's see. No, let me see. I think I might have to do window, because yeah, it did display. Let me see. I got to go to window. Let me get that up there. Oh, I think I clicked on the wrong. Yeah, let me cancel that. Give me one brief second here just to get this together for you guys. Window capture. And yeah, that's the one right there. All right. Right. So we're dealing with Jonathan Majors. Let me get rid of that other capture directly down there. This is the fun part, doing stuff live. Doing stuff live, guys. Doing stuff live. Get to have these interactions and, work around with some of the stuff. So I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger so that y'all can see it, right? So this is one of the posts that I showed you, right? It said a New York jury has found Jonathan Majors guilty of assault in the third degree and guilty, right, on the white woman. One dude, Zig the artist, basically said black entertainers should just stay away from white women. It's a lose-lose, right? That's what a black dude said. No problem with that. This is the dude. I'm guessing that he's an actual artist, whatnot, whatever. No problem. I respect that, right? That's why y'all see the light directly down there. This other dude by the name of Derek Lee, he was like, or how about not cheating on your girlfriend? So we're going to continue. Lavish stated under the post, that's illegal now. And Derek Lee said, you got to read the whole story, bro. Steve Edwards said, she's trying to take his phone. That's how she hurt her hand. The driver testified that she was the aggressor. Video shows him trying to get her in the car and her assaulting him running away while being chased by her. Him cheating doesn't give her the right to put her hands on him. Derek Lee stated, try telling that to every woman who gets cheated on. You must have not had women, bro. LOL. Every woman will go after your phone if they suspect or know you're cheating on them. You obviously haven't been with many women in your life. He also humiliated this woman many times, so emotional abuse is also his thing, and it's on video. Give it a break. Race Horse Haynes. When I sit up there and say that I loathe people on the internet, this is what I be talking about. We're literally talking about the fact that we got evidence that shows that there's some problems here with this woman. Everybody wants to focus on all this other type of stuff in order to specifically try to make some type of point or establish their own point away from the facts that are being given. I don't know anything about the relationship, him quote unquote cheating. I don't know anything about that. I frankly don't even care. I care about the fact that it's like, yo, this dude is losing his career. He's getting hemmed up over this woman. That's what we're sitting up here talking about. This dude is trying to Derek Lee. Oh, he was sitting up there cheating. But it gets even more. So we're going to go to somebody else that name Cruzy, right? Said that every snow bunny knows the best way to get back at a black guy is to have him jailed. Why you think Diddy paid up? You think a white dude would be phased? He go to court and he will win. Black guy accused of assaulting a woman always going down. So let's go back to what Derek Lee had to state. Derek Lee said, that's false. Any woman can do that to a man. Body blocking for this woman here. Crazy. Stop falling into the race baiting and think for yourself, dude. We can already know where Derek Lee is heading here. I've dated white women. as I sat up there and told you, why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised that this dude who appears to be black, Derek Lee, has or is dating white women, and he's underneath this post advocating for a white woman that would never give him the time of day. Like, yo, some of y'all black dudes out here, like, yo, I be trying so hard to like literally go to bat. Literally, I be trying so hard out here to go to bat. And then I run through social media and I see shit like this. And then it just puts everything else to shit. Like, we see the wrongdoing that is going on here. You're sitting up here trying to tell the other people up here, like, oh, you're on a plantation. You're dealing with this race stuff. Any woman can sit up there and do what it is that is happening here. We're not talking about any woman. We're clear cut talking about this woman that is on the side of Jonathan Majors in this picture. And then you got the nerve to sit up there and try to put on your super suit because you've dated white women. Who are you body blocking for? Do you think that they're online trying to sit up there anytime they see a negative post about black men? Do you think that they're online underneath the comment sections trying to squabble wordly with everybody else? No, they're not. They moved on. They're with somebody else because obviously it ain't you. Obviously something happened. Something obviously happened where you were not a good match for them. But like I said, just like we're saying about Jonathan Majors putting himself in danger, you're also putting yourself in danger as well. But again, like I told y'all before, you got some black people out here that think that what happened to somebody else that's black ain't going to happen to them. So like I said, I bet that at no point in time in the future, sit up there and see you crying directly on social media talking about, look what happened to me. Look at how somebody's lying on me. I bet not see, because any woman can sit up there and do it. Like I said, some people are their own worst enemies. Some people put themselves in these predicaments just to be in these predicaments. So he said, I've dated white women in the past and they've never called the police on me or tried to set me up to bring me down. Every Caucasian woman is not for the downfall of the black man. Y'all listen to all of this BS and just regurgitate it all day long. That shit is not true. Black men F up sometimes and you're foolish for taking up for them when they do. It's not constructive when you do that. Try reading the whole story. This is my question. Why, as a black dude that dates white women, are you so intrigued and you're body blocking for this white woman, again, who is not going to give you the time of day? It's a difference. You do normal work. She's a part of some other family with a last name or whatever that actually matters. It's two different things. Jonathan Majors is a dude that basically made a way for himself, and he ended up meeting with this woman. They started dating, things didn't work out, and now his career and his money is now in shambles. But you decide as a black man that you want to roll up here and tout your flag because you're black, man, and you've dated white women. This ain't never happened to you. It's all a lie. He sat up there and cheated. She's innocent. Like, this is crazy. You ain't heard this dude once bring up the fact of any of the negative stuff that she's done to Jonathan Majors. Ain't that crazy? He is all for the side of this white woman here, but he ain't bringing up none of the negative stuff that she's done. But he's like, oh yeah, Jonathan Majors is a cheater. You got to understand from the side of women. You got to understand that black men sit up there and fuck up and black men sit up there and do this. This is crazy. This is crazy, son. Crazy. It'd be so crazy. So crazy. Like, man, oh my God. When people sit up there and try to tell you that you got some lost black people out here, you got some lost black people out here. It's no other way to sit up there and put it. It's no other way to sit up there and put it. That man proves right here. Derek Lee proves that directly right here. Like, dog, nobody asked if you ever dated white women. Nobody is asking for you to sit up there and protect and stand up for white women. Like, dude, you're doing way too much. You're doing way too much for somebody who realistically does not even care about you. Because like I said, if those women, as he stated, he's dated multiple white women. If those women actually cared and they were actually there, he would have been clear cut directly married to one of them. It wouldn't have been a multitude. It would have been one. But here we are. Here we are. That's crazy. It is crazy how this stuff tends to work out. Like I need black people to sit up there and get it together. And people want to get mad at Dr. Umar when he starts making videos. People really want to get mad at Dr. Umar when he starts making videos and he starts talking about black people in the black community, but yet y'all out here proving this dude right every single time. Like, what are we doing out here? Like, this is, oh man, it's, like I said, it's insane. It's insane. But we're gonna go directly to the next story that I got up for you guys at this moment in time. So let me get this directly up here. Let me see. I think I gotta pull this directly out. And let me see. Cancel that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there we go. So we got this one, right? So this person stated that a wig influencer who is married to an Indian guy who runs, because we're still on the dating stretch, right? She said a wig influencer who is dated to an Indian guy who runs a gas station was on live when he told her that he didn't want to be married anymore and that he just wanted to be friends, right? So this is the reaction that the person gave with the meme that's directly up there, right? So now I'm going to show you the clip of that woman. We're going to watch the clip in the whole, total thing so that we can get and understand what it is that this person is talking about. So let's go directly to it.
Wayward. Also, I appreciate y'all more than anything. But I'm gonna be fine. And I am okay.
Oh, also, I want y'all, while y'all listening to her, I want y'all to read the comments that are directly on the side. I made sure to pick out some comments, and all the comments are pretty much similar. And I put these comments out there for a very specific reason, because in a lot of the comments that you see where they're referring to the Indian guy or they're just saying the guy or whatever it is, none of these black women that you are seeing, these are actual black women. None of them are trying to belittle. None of them are trying to be angry or aggressive or say anything demeaning about the Indian guy or Indian guys in general. Everything is pretty much light and straight to the point. There's no type of backhanded anything that is taking place. So just, pay attention to that.
And it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt for a long time, but I'm fine. I will be just fine. I've been through way worse. I will be fine. I will be fine. I'm a badass bitch. Period. I will be fine. I will be just fine. And we're gonna date, and we're gonna learn about men together, and we're gonna learn about different countries and different cultures of men, and we're gonna do this together. Because I've never dated anybody except him. I've never been with anybody except him. So I am literally open to the whole world now. The whole world is literally like a whole ass oyster right now. I don't know anything about anything. We are literally gonna go everywhere, and we're gonna travel, and we're gonna feel better. Because guess what? We have the money to do it, bitch. We have the money to do it. And we're gonna take our friends, and we're gonna go to fucking Spain, and we're gonna go to France, and we're gonna date, and we're gonna go to parties, and we're gonna have fun, and we're gonna have businesses. And my hairline is opening next year. We're gonna have so much fucking fun. We're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna just take this as a teachable moment. I learned a lot, and I still love Amon, and I don't think I'll ever love nobody like that ever again. I don't want to. I want whatever love I exuded to that man, he can keep it forever. I don't ever want to love another human being like that ever again. He can have it. He can have that whole entire thing that I gave him. I don't ever want to love nobody like that ever again. But he can definitely have it. But whatever this new thing that's opening up for us, I'm excited about it. And that's how I'm taking it. And that's what we're gonna do. Because we are bad bitches. And we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. Oh my god. I have 30. I've been giving away wigs all week. I've literally been giving away wigs all week. And for the first time this year, I was able to do like a whole 12 days of Christmas. I've been giving away wigs to everybody I fucking see. Like, I'm able to do these things. I'm able to take care of my family. I'm able to do these things. Like, I'm gonna be fine. Like, I'm hurt, but I know I'm gonna be fine. And that's the only thing that I'm just like, I thank God for that. Because I know I'm gonna be fine. Like, I wouldn't know which way up if I wasn't, but I'm gonna be fine. I am. And I'm only 22, and I know I'm gonna be fine. But I love y'all so much, and I know this gonna be everywhere, but I am fine. And we're gonna be fine, and we're gonna do this shit together. We've been doing it together. We have to finish what we started. It's gonna be a lot, but we're gonna be fine. And I love y'all, and I thank y'all. And damn. And you know why I'm still, oh my god, and you know why I'm still the motherfucking Peltro princess? Because guess what? How long we been married? Yeah, that's still mine. So guess what? Guess who always gonna be the Petro princess? Because guess.
So we heard what it is that she stated. Let me just go over, just one of the main things that I noticed that she said, right? She didn't have any ill will. She didn't have any type of like animosity, no type of hatred. She didn't try to say that this was all Indian men or anything like that. She didn't come at him negatively, even though he was like, yo, I don't want to be married no more. This ain't really working, but we can still, just be friends, whatnot, or whatever, right? And then on top of that, she was like, yeah, I'm about to, we're going to sit up there and travel. We're going to take my friends. We're going to like France. We're going to Spain and all of these, European countries. We're going to clubs. We're going to be sitting up there dating. It's going to be fine. And then she also stated that I'm never going to love another person like that, ever again. And I want people to understand the fact that if this dude basically, with the help of his family, came back to her and he basically said, you know what? I wasn't in my right frame of mind. I'm completely sorry for what I put you through. You're right for having any type of feelings, negative feelings about me because of what I, emotionally put you through. And I completely understand. But I want to rewrite that mistake and I want for us to actually work. And I will do everything that I need to do, no matter how long it takes, in order to, prove this directly to you that I really want this, that I really want to be with you and everything like that. If he literally came back and he said that, she would take him back. She would take him back. But let me just go to one of the videos that she had directly up here, and this person basically said that, to be honest, and the Arab man that you're going to see in here, that was her husband at the time, who runs the store. She said, this person, to be honest, he seemed agitated for a while now. You can tell he wasn't happy. This is tragic because you can tell she genuinely loves being with him. So that was, and she called herself the Petro Princess. I'm just gonna. I'm not even gonna do it. What I will do is that I'm gonna go directly to the comment section that they got directly up there. That's what I'm gonna do. The comment section is right here. Give me a second. Somebody said the pressure to marry a nice Indian girl got to him finally. His people been relentlessly hateful and he can't take it no more. It's not worth the criticism. All right, let me just make sure this is working. Yeah, okay. So you see the comment here, and then you see the other ones that are right below. Other person said you just made that up. Another person said, I don't know these people's business at all. However, that culture rarely dates outside of their race. And although the family may have loved her, when it's time to have children, more than likely not, it will be with a pure Indian girl, right? Another person said, this is the truth. Another person said, who gave you this information? Another person said, y'all are so miserable on this app because his parents loved her. They are high school sweethearts. Are y'all like never happy? This is the thing that I need people to like really understand. Just because somebody's parents of another culture likes that person doesn't mean that they're going to also love those kids, because let me just be honest. I know family that are in a interracial relationship, and she for years earlier on in the years was facing a type of discriminatory type of behavior, bigoted type of behavior, coming from one of the parents. And a little bit some years down the line, when the kids basically came out and people are able to see the pictures and stuff like that, magically the mother changed her tune. She wanted to start magically speaking to people and having conversations. So this is the one thing I want a lot of black women out here to like really understand, because that was a black woman down there who stated, well, a melanated woman, because there's a multitude of flags directly up here, right? Just because you are there and the family of that man who is different from you might like you or might seems that they love you, it doesn't mean that they're going to specifically love you or those children when they come out. And then somebody else had made it was a man on here who had made a very great point, where he was stating that um you got a lot of women out here who don't specifically know what it is that men want. I'm talking about away from America. Globally, black women don't know what it is that men out there really want. And then you have women out there trying to tell the dude that, you need to specify on what it is that you mean and all this other type of stuff. I mean, the dude don't need to sit up there and specify on nothing. The dude said exactly what it is that he said, and it's crazy. It is completely crazy. Another person said, too many black folks are comfortable talking about a race they think has a fishy smell while not realizing every dish other than North America has a smell. Talking about what marriage looks like in my own culture. Where the F did you come up with this? Have you ever met an Indian before? Another person, what we got down here? Another person said, I believe he started getting jealous of her because she started making more money than him. The most interesting thing is, that's a theory. When you look at every single black community, there's always Arab men that own a gas station, and they might own several. So it's crazy. Like when you look at what gas stations sit up there and make like per year or whatnot or whatever, especially depending on the city and stuff that they're in, like they make some crazy money. Then multiply that by how many gas stations that they own. So like I said, I don't know what his family with the rest of his family does. I don't know if he might own multiple gas stations or if he was working on getting another gas. I don't know what he was specifically doing, but I'm not going to automatically just come out of nowhere and say, oh, yeah, it was because he was jealous. She was out here getting that money. She was becoming a billionaire. And like, this is what it looks like when you got people out here that just be throwing around theories because they done just like heard this a multitude of times. Then somebody else said the way that y'all make stuff up is amazing. LOL. Woman came back. She said that wasn't the case for them. He didn't spend enough time with her and was always working at his family's gas station, and she was fed up. This is the thing. If what she is stating, first of all, she stated two different things. She stated that I believe, right, which is not a factual statement because she just has a belief because she's looking at something from the outside, right? So then she came back and basically stated that he didn't spend enough time with her. He was always working. If a dude is working trying to establish himself, he's trying to make more money in order to benefit the relationship, the family, or himself, he has to sacrifice time. I don't understand why it is so difficult for women to comprehend this. It's like it's crazy. It's like women want a dude that's already made, and then they just want to be slotted directly in there so they can just reap the benefits. You don't have women out there that are like, all right, I see what this dude is doing. He's working in action. Everything that he is stating, he is clearly sitting up here doing slow and steady wins the race. This woman is literally sitting up here saying like, well, he wasn't spending enough time with her. He was always working. So you want him to be like some type of like Arab Pookie and Ray Ray or something? You want him to just be on a couch? You want him to always be there? And you want him to just be what? Giving her the D all the time? Because I guess that's spending time. Realistically, I guess that's realistically spending time because she's not giving examples of what quality time is. Because when you look on social media, and I'm just talking in general now, when you look on social media and you look at what a lot of women talk about, like spending time and stuff, you start seeing women talk more and more about sex. They're not really talking about, in a sense, actually. At the same time, a lot of women are like, why are you a date night is not going to the movies. It's not going to any of these, conglomerate restaurants or whatever it is. Right? It has to be something very specific and something that is very expensive. So it's like it's a lose-lose. It doesn't make any type of sense at all. And again, you got women just out here just following the logic of other women. And a lot of these other women ain't even married. Ain't nobody proposing to them. Ain't nobody buying a ring for them. But yet they are relationshipologists, and they can specifically tell you stuff. Like it's crazy how this stuff tends to work out. And this is why I sit up there and try to tell a lot of women, I'm like, yo, stop listening to other women that ain't never been nowhere. Like I said, a lot of these women on social media is trying to give other women failed advice. It's failed advice for a reason. Because again, a lot of these women, they're not engaged. They're not married. They didn't find a perfect guy. They're still jumping from guy to guy to guy to guy to guy to guy and guy. and still sitting up there on social media talking about how guys ain't this, guys ain't that, but yet they're able to give you advice? How? And their advice is the standard? How? How can somebody, how can those women that have had 29 relationships give you good advice? How can women that have never been married or engaged give you advice on a marriage, on or how to get engaged? How? They can't, because they can't even establish a basic relationship. Because if you look on social media and you look at relationships at this moment in time, relationships don't even last long. People will literally have like 4 to 5 different relationships in 1 year. There's no consistency. The only consistency I see is failure. That's it. Failure in every single relationship. And it's like, I'm not about to sit up there and like blame the guys. I'm going to sit up there and blame the one that is seeking these relationships. And i.e. is going to be the woman. I want to be married. I want to be engaged. I want to be this. I want to be that. But every single relationship that you're in fails. It never has longevity. It's not even able to get out of the crawling stage. Come on, man. Like, what are we doing out here? What are we doing out here? Like this, it looks completely crazy out here. Yep. Wait, what is that one? It said 16-year-old rapper Lil Perk is responsible for taking a 14-year-old's life outside of an Atlantic station, has received 20 years in prison. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let me just pull the other one directly up there too. Like I said, like stuff like this is completely crazy. Like, and this is what I be sitting up there talking about. Like, you got these kids out here, and this goes back into the other live stream that I gave to y'all before, where it was talking about, fathers or at least, positive male role models are essential to the life and the growth of young boys directly out here. This is what it looks like when you don't have a positive male role model directly in your life. And I'm not, for me, I can't sit up there and cry or in a sense like shed tears. I was 16. I didn't have a father. I wasn't sitting up here on social media during a time of MySpace or whatever it was, rolling up, sitting up here smoking, got my pants sagging. I'm sitting up here standing posted like, you look stupid. And then it's like, so we know that the father's not there. So it's like, yo, where the rest of the family at? Where's the mom at? Where the rest of the family at? Because now this 16-year-old who don't even technically look 16, it's over. Like, you a grown man now, you in prison, you locked up. You done took somebody else's life. A 14-year-old, somebody within your own age bracket, for something dumb, for something stupid, for something that's not even like I said, like I said before, I don't shed tears for a lot of these kids out here because they know what they're doing. He wanted to sit up there and believe and live this life. So now you got to die by that sword. So now you locked up. It's curtains. It's over. The only thing that one can basically hope is that somehow, you might gain some reform and some logic and common sense to the point where it's like, all right, I got myself in this predicament. That'll probably happen later on when he's like in his 20s or something, possibly, maybe. It's a slim, shot in the dark, but he might, get to the point where he was like, you know what? I realized I was wrong. I shouldn't have did what it is that I did. And, I might not be able to fix my situation, but maybe I could, stop somebody else's son who was around my age when I got locked up and made this mistake. Maybe I could stop them from doing the exact same thing that I did. So just to put everybody on notice, we got this one right here where they said that over 170 people with links to Jeffrey Epstein will likely be named in an unsealed court docs in the upcoming weeks. So I will, I will be staying posted directly on that. I'm just going to put everybody else directly up there. Be posted. Pay very close attention to those documents, or magically if those documents don't specifically come out, because they might have some very important names directly listed up there. And they also might have some names that are not specifically, um, listed up there as well, because you might have some people that are linked to the people that are listed. So again, you got to pay attention. You gotta really, 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 really pay attention to a lot of the stuff, right? So the next one I'm going to play directly, y'all, is this video here, right? You're going to see this young woman specifically talking. And the main thing that I've stated before is that a lot of women know the guys and the things that these guys like to do, what it is that they are into. A lot of women know that these guys have records and all this other type of stuff. So I'm going to play this video. Just remember everything that I just told you, and specifically listen to what it is that this woman is stating here about her ex.
This video is for whoever keeps sending and showing my TikToks to my ex. Send him this one. Send him this one. Curtis, ain't you 22, living with your 16-year-old baby mama in her grandma house? Stealing your mama food stamp card? No car, no apartment, no nothing. You don't got shit. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about how you got her pregnant when she was 13 years old. But before that, you got your sister pregnant when she was 12. But you're not going to talk about that, huh? But I'm going to talk about it.
So y'all heard that, right? So I want to say shout out to Timothy. What is up? What is up? What is up? Shout out to Miss Barber. What is up? Gail is in the building. What is up? What is up? What is up? Gail has said from a previous thing I listed, she said, Seji, many times women have a fear of helping a man build or sticking by why he is building, and he gets where he wants to be and decides to upgrade. It happens all the time. Now, this is what I'll say about the girl. She decided that, going back to the original girl that I was showcasing to y'all
Appreciate you.
before, I'm just sliding back over just for a quick second to go over what Gail was sitting up there stating. I get what it is that you're, in a sense, stating about that. My main thing is looking at how Arab people basically move. They're already creating businesses, right? So I'm pretty sure that business, that was a family gas station. That was something that was already there, right? So she didn't do anything to help him establish anything. The family was already doing that, which means the family has money, and they also have other gas stations. So it's like I can get that in a sense, but you can also say, in the same token, a lot of men are afraid to get married because once men get married, magically women will find a problem with that man, and they'll decide to take him for everything that he got. Or women will decide to get with a man that has money or get married to a man that has money, knowing the fact that they don't love him, and then they'll decide to get pregnant by him, and then they want to sit up there and again take him for everything that he got. Right? We can also say that as well. But like I said, it is what it is. Like I told y'all before, I've been through a lot of stuff. And I'm not going to sit up there and say that that's going to, in a sense, keep me from being in relationships or automatically trusting women. I'm not going to sit up there and directly do that. Because, that'd be kind of crazy to sit up there and do. That'd be crazy. Right? To allow one person to basically, hold me back from life. So it's like I can understand that. But again, at the same point, it's a little bit ridiculous to allow somebody, in a sense, to have that much power over you and what it is that you're going to be able to do in the future, after them, But going back to this one here, this is 1,000% crazy. Like, this literally makes no type of sense at all. It makes no sense. You literally have this girl. She knows that her ex-boyfriend. Tania, what is up? What is up? What is up? What is going on? What is up, Sonny, as well? What is up? What is up? Um, she said a lot of stuff. She stated that her ex had a relationship with his own sister. He had a relationship directly with a 13-year-old as well. Or 16-year-old, either one of them, teenagers. And sat up there and got both of them pregnant at one point in time. But I'm like, ma'am, you literally dated this dude. And you knew all of this information. And you opted not to turn him into police or to allow the proper authorities? No. But you're laughing and smiling about this because you're like, oh, I'm about to sit up there and like really tell some information. I'm about to really let people know about you. You just told everybody about you. Again, this is you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. This is another woman who wanted to pull the same thing that this one pulled earlier, right? We all saw this earlier, where this one came directly out of the blue and she wanted to try to get on Bow Wow. She thought that she was going to go on social media and really out this dude and say some crazy type of stuff, dragging his name and all this other type of stuff so she can get clout. She inevitably made herself look like a fool. So now you got this other girl to the right wanting to talk about her ex-boyfriend and how it is that he goes after minors. Ma'am, you dated him. You slept with him. What is wrong with you? You're the same as him because you knew all this information and you did nothing with it. But now because you're vindictive and you want to be mad about something, you want to now put this information directly out there. You should have told if you actually cared about it, you was actually real about it, you would have told the authorities. You would have told the authorities. A case would have been opened up on this dude. But that's not what you did. You smiling and all this stuff for clout. Like I said before, women know who it is that they be dating. They be knowing background history. They be knowing other types of information. It be a lot of women out here sheltering the wrong types of dudes. They be sheltering a lot of criminals out here. You wonder why it is that in a lot of these towns and cities that nobody knows where these guys are, where it is that they living or hiding out. That's because women are hiding these dudes. She was literally by this dude's side, knows his whole history. And you still opted to be in a relationship with this dude. Like, what type of woman, what type of person are you really? That's technically, you're basically the same, if not worse, as that person. And not saying what he's done is less. I'm saying due to the effect of her having and knowing this information and not doing the proper thing with that information, that's even worse because you're allowing this to keep continuing. That dude should be behind bars. Like, dog, yo, he got his sister pregnant. What? And then the mother of his child, she was also a teenager as well. And then her family knew about it also as well too. Like I said, a lot of these women be knowing. So this is why I be having problems with a lot of stories. Because there's always more than just one side. Like I said, case in point, let me just go back to the whole thing because I gotta bring it up. Let me just go back to the whole thing of R. Kelly. Everybody knew. Nobody's trying to throw the security in jail. Any of the security detail, any of the higher ups in security. Nobody's trying to sit up there and throw any of the music managers in jail. Any other people that were associated with this dude that were at parties and specifically knew. Nobody's trying to throw any of those people in jail. But everybody is magically mad just at R. Kelly and saying that he is the worst of the worst, that he is a monster, he deserves this, he deserves that. What about everybody else? And especially, what about the parents? You have the parents of these girls coming out making press releases and stories. So you mean to tell me that you knew that your daughter was out here with a grown man and you didn't say or do nothing? And then people give the excuse of like, well, you know, you can't stop a child from doing what it is that they want to do. Huh? So you mean to tell me that a parent can't go to the furthest extent to make sure that child ain't going to be with that grown person? They can move. They can't move to different states. They can't basically get that person potentially like locked up. They can't go to a whole nother country or something like that where that person don't even really. You can't make it harder for that child to basically get to that person. Okay, all right. But like I said, and I'm going to say it again, if people are really serious about a lot of these issues, like they say that they serious, then why ain't nobody mad at the parents? Why ain't nobody trying to out the parents? Why ain't nobody showing pictures of the parents of these girls? Because I promise you those parents got paid. I promise you those parents knew about what R. Kelly was sitting up here doing, just like what this girl knew what her boyfriend was doing. But nobody wants to talk about that though. Everybody wants to demonize and go directly after R. Kelly as if he's just the only one. That's the apex predator right there. Word? You got parents. I've given y'all stories where parents are selling their children off to the highest bidder, but yet everybody is mad at R. Kelly. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We're sitting up here getting mad at just one person. We're not going to sit up here and get mad at the parents. We're not. We're just going to let them skate free. Like I said, people ain't really serious then. People ain't really serious. Timothy said he made himself Uncle Daddy. Yeah. Tania says you took the words from my brain. Said exactly, but when mad, when the day come around, they'll want all of a sudden tell him to get out and not to do the right thing. Yeah. I got you. Timothy said he's eventually going to be Uncle Grandpa. Yeah, and that is crazy. And I'm like, and this is the stuff that I be talking about. So everybody online, when it deals with this girl here, let me just isolate her picture here, right? So when it deals with this girl here and her putting all the information out about her ex-boyfriend or whatever, everybody's gonna be mad about the ex-boyfriend raging out and all this other type of stuff. Oh man, he's a criminal, yada yada yada, all this other type of stuff. But I'm like, nobody's looking at her. Nobody's looking at her as a villain. She was just an innocent bystander. Like I said, this is why I get tired of like the whole thing of when a lot of people try to say that women are victims in all of these situations. When you got women who are a part of these situations and they know what is happening to other women and young girls, but they don't care because it's not happening to them. And the only time people actually want to care is when it happens to them or when it happens to somebody that is close to them that they actually care about. But like I said, this is why she can get on social media. She can laugh and smile about those situations because it wasn't her. It wasn't somebody that she loved and cared about. Like I said, it's crazy. It's real crazy out here. Real crazy directly out here. But that was we did pretty good today. We got let me just make sure I don't got anything else I need to go over at this moment in time. Just make sure. I think that was actually everything I wanted to list off to you guys. I think that was actually it. So I actually did pretty good today. Hopefully it was jam-packed for you guys. Hopefully, with some stuff directly up there that you guys liked. I did have another story directly up here, but I'm trying to find information to verify the main parts of the information. Uh-oh. Pink rolling up saying check the IG. Uh-oh. Let me just see something real quick. Let me see. So we're gonna go directly to the IG and see what was sent right here. Oh, I know this one. Let me see. I know this one. I know this one. So let me just highlight this one real quick. So this is what Pink sent. I think I gotta actually make another window. Do I? Let me see. Let me just pull back up. Let me see. I gotta minimize that one. Okay, yeah, so that worked out. Okay. So let me do that right there. All right, so let me play this directly for y'all here. Scroll directly over. Uh yo, there's a lot of times where a lot of people say that we live in the last days. Just listening to that and hearing a preacher in a sense say something like that, that's crazy to me. It's like, yo, you're literally on stage saying, you know, all of this like type of stuff. That's crazy to me. That's 1,000% crazy. 1,000%. Oh wait, it didn't have no sound. Wow, so that didn't play through the mic. That's crazy. Let me see. I think I might have to do this a little bit. Yo, Mahoko, what is up? What is up? What is up? What is going on? So I actually got to download it. I got you. Hold on. Let me do this the other way. That is completely crazy. I thought this actually came through for y'all. My apologies. I gotta snatch this real quick. Give me a few seconds. Do. All right, so let me just upload this to you guys here. So we're going to hear what it is that this pastor has to state about the afterlife and what it is that he will be going directly into.
When you get to heaven,
y'all make it tough for us to do the formal thing. And I'm all right with it because I got a feeling there's not going to be a whole lot of formality when we get to heaven. I know I'm going to spend the first million years just bucking. Just 100%. There is no reason why I should have made it. But the God that took me up and changed my life and turned me around brought.
So we all heard that, right? There was no mistake. And I remember when I first heard that before, and I was like, bro, like what is happening out here? What is going on where you have a lot of these pastors just doing a whole bunch of stuff that is will be quote unquote considered ungodly? What is really going on and what is really taking place at this moment in time? What is really happening? Like I said, that is crazy. Like I said, and I do agree with the comment that was made that I think what was it? Let me see. I think what was one of the comments that I saw before? I can't even think of it. Brain just forgot at that moment. But it's crazy. Like I said, you got to be careful of the people that you follow, especially when it deals with religion, because you might be led, down a wrong path. You may just be led down the wrong path, right? So then we want to go to the next video that Pink has up here for us today. So about to look at this one. It's with KSR1. Let's look at that real quick. Just put that up there for you guys here.
Ignored hip hop for 49 years. At the 50th year, you want to call us? 49 years you ignored us. The 50th year, that's when you call. You couldn't even call on 47 and gear it up to at least 50, okay? At least get us into 47. No. You wait till the 50th year to want to call hip hop's authentic teacher? Nah, you don't get that privilege. I refuse to show up.
And that's facts. So what KSR1 is talking about, he's talking about like the I think it was like the Grammys, the celebration, the 50 years of like hip hop and all this other type of stuff. And when you think about, hip hop and you think about, like a lot of the pillars and the rappers and stuff like that, KSR1 is one of those ones that comes directly up. And I get what it is that he's saying. He's like, yo, out of all this time that I've basically been here, out of all the time hip hop has been around, you now want to quote unquote recognize hip hop. And it's like, nah, I'm good on that. I'm not doing that. Like he even said, because I watched the whole interview that they had. He was like, you didn't even try to like, get us before to just like try to, warm up the whole thing and, to have celebration, to have talks and all this. You waited literally this long to do all of this stuff, given the fact that hip hop has influenced so many different genres. Like you can go and look at certain people that are doing country right now, and you can start hearing hip hop type beats, drill type beats, and all these other type of beats that you would normally hear in rap. You're starting to hear this in everybody else's music. Sit up there and go to K-pop, go to J-pop, probably C-pop or China pop, whatever it would be. Go to a lot of those Asian countries and start listening to a lot of those beats. I'm like, wow, those beats sound real black. Go listen to some of the music over there in Europe. Some of those artists, they sitting up there taking some stuff, some hints and some beats and lifting some stuff and putting it directly into their music. Everywhere you go, hip hop, rap has, literally is a part of a lot of other music. And a lot of people are sitting up there loving it and dancing to it and all this other type of stuff. But no matter how much of an influence and no matter how much hip hop has literally done, it never got the recognition that it deserved. But now they want to come out and try to give recognition after 50 years. It's too late. Like I said, this is what it looks like when people are desperate, when they want the energy of black people. Because if they really wanted to like be real, you would have been doing this like 20 years ago. Like you would have did something like this during like the 2000s, right? You would have been doing this periodically. Like let's say like every 5 years, every 10 years, you would have did something like that to acknowledge hip hop. But that's not what you wanted to do. That's not what you wanted to do because you didn't look at it as being important. You didn't look at it as being valuable. But now when it's like, oh, our stuff is a little bit on the decline. Nobody's really watching us anymore. We got to do something to really spruce it up, to do something different. And here you go. Here you go. It's crazy. Sonny said, I'm good on those pearly gates. YouTube said, Shula be killing it with the shorts. Yep, that's bars. Tania said, KSR1. Roselle, yo, what is up? Roselle said, KSR1 got bars. YouTube said, I see nothing wrong here. Like I said, it's crazy out here. It is, 1,000% crazy with, a lot of the stuff, that is, going on. We'll figure something out. I guess that's the best way to, sit up there and say it. We will figure something out. But again, much love, respect, and appreciation. We're going for about a good 2 hours and 24 minutes. I got some videos directly up there on the third YouTube channel as well. I'm going to post another one directly after this one that I recorded earlier today. And the replay will be live for people, I guess, after the live is ended, so people can go back and rewatch, some of the stuff that has been talked about and or listed as well. Again, much love, respect, and appreciation to everybody in attendance for being a part of the conversation. Putting in input. Just even listening. Much love, respect, and appreciation to you and yours, and also much love because I don't got my phone or anything like that on me at this moment in time, nor do I got notifications up. But much love, respect, and appreciation to anybody that may have either just signed up to the Patreon or donated by way of PayPal and uh, donated through Cash App and different things like that. Oh, we got Mo in the building. Yo, I was waiting for you. I thought you was gonna be up here during some of the other stories that I did. Yo, what's up, brother? What is going on? We got the silent ninja in the building. What is going on? What is going on? But yeah, hopefully, y'all have a great day, a great rest of the week. Stay safe, eat good food, get your feng shui together, and focus on yourself so that you can be better than what you are today. And work on leveling up. And the last message I also put out as well is the fact that you're going to start hearing some rumbles about cryptocurrency, and you're going to start to hear a lot of people out of nowhere start to become like gurus or ultra knowledgeable about stuff and whatnot or whatever. Be very wary. I'll say, be pretty cautious. Do your own research. Because there is going to be a lot of talk pretty soon in the media again about cryptocurrency and how things are basically moving, how it's going to be implemented and put forth and used by driving apps and different things. So, like I said, I'm just going to put that, directly out there to people to do research and to, look at things and to, gain a better understanding and, stay safe. So again, much love, respect, and appreciation. Love you guys a lot. And I will catch you guys on the next live stream. Peace out.